right, give it up for Kendrick, everybody. SFU Pipe Band. I think we woke up the whole neighborhood too as well. So everybody's ready for Robbie Burns Day. Chris Jackson back with us. Frank Campbell. Wow, I can hear that ringing in my head right now. We're talking about great traditions, and Chris, you were busy yesterday making all kinds of haggis. What goes into this treat?
Okay, well, I'll let you know. So what we put in our haggis is lamb leg meat, and some of the offal, which is the liver and the heart. And you're supposed to put the lungs in if you're in Scotland, but we skip that part because I find it a little bitter. Yeah. And we actually cook oats in beef broth, and then we cook it all up and then mix it in with onions, and you kind of make the pudding from that, and then it goes inside of the intestines.
Okay.
Yeah, which are these big housing units. It's like
you know, we've tried this on the show. We've butchered it. That's why we bring in the experts. What's the most common mistake people make with haggis?
Oh, they boil the haggis to heat it up, and it just explodes into the
That's what we've done. That's why you're here. Frank Campbell, you're here, the historian for us today. Traditional attire I like, but why? Why do we do this? What is the significance?
The actual reason, maybe I should talk in a bit of a different language, actually, so that people at home can't understand me, that you can't understand most of the Scots, you know. No, basically what happened was it was a poor person's meal. The lord of the land threw the meat and everything was left over in buckets. His staff would do that back at the castle or their manor house, and then the poor folks would come up, grab it, whip up something out of it. They had a sheep's stomach, so that's what they found to stuff it with and everything like that. And then it became all of a sudden quite different and turned into something that everybody revered as a, you know, but it was a poor person's meal, and that's what you got to realize, that this was developed like that. So that's why Robert Burns, who came from a poor family at 37, he passes away, but he had some fabulous writings about the haggis, in a sense, not just the haggis, everything from ladies to objects to mice. He does a lot of that kind of dialogue in all of his writings.
Why so revered? Year after year is he celebrated such as an iconic figure?
Just because of the fact that it was people had no food. It was like people who were homeless, really, in a sense. There was nothing going, so it became something that he felt that should be revered. And it's got a tongue-in-cheek piece of humor within it, because he talks about it in one of the verses about being looking like a buttocks walking over the hillside. I mean, that's
very poetic.
That's poetic, all right. You know? If you have two of them together, you can imagine what that looks like up there, though. It's great looking. It's great. I used to have a haggis, but I'm now looking for new ones. I slept with them. I kept one for 2 years one time in a freezer. You know what? It woke up and walked out on me. You know. Okay, go ahead.
That's just commitment right there. Okay, listen, if we're going to serve this, what's the tradition? How do we cut it? What's the ode to the haggis?
Okay, well, basically, Robert Burns had written an 8-verse poem called The Address to a Haggis. And the first, I'll give you a couple of four lines. I actually like talking to it like it's an animal, because it was an animal in the hillsides of Scotland years ago. Short legs on one side, so you could grab it when it fell over. So he would say, "Fair far your honest soncy face, great pudding, the chieftain race, upon them you take your place, pinch, tripe or therm, but are you worthy of a grace, as lang's my arm." Then it keeps going.
It's right there.
7-minute charge. And then eventually it ends up, may I?
Yeah, go ahead for the slice.
Then it does it within one of the verses. It's cutting the haggis, which is, and cut you up with steady slight. Warm, reeking, rich.
Bravo, bravo. You don't get that at the deli, do you, Chris?
No, we don't do that every time.
Well, listen, a special event happening tomorrow night. SFUpipeband.com for details. Kendrick, why don't you play us out as we celebrate Robbie Burns Day right here on BT. Final look at weather coming up. Stay tuned. Excellent work. Thank you, guys.